Part of the BTM product family, shingles are a roofing material for pitched roofs, and they come to the forefront due to their light weight, firmness, strength, and decorative nature. Shingles are a lightweight roofing material and do not place any burden on buildings. Shingles, which may be quickly applied to any old or new building, provide durability and remedial convenience in the ridge, gutter, and eaves trough detail. They are not brittle and provide excellent wind resistance. Shingles, which are not affected by adverse weather conditions and may be applied on wooden or concrete roofs, are a product which are maintenance-free and may serve for many years if properly installed. Let us now look together at how to perform the correct application. It is useful to check all the necessary implements and tools prior to application. Before starting the application, some issues must be determined at the point where the application shall take place. First, the roof must be covered with water-resistant wood boards, Class 3 OSBs, which are of adequate thickness and used on roofs. OSBs must be placed over rafters with a minimum space of 3 millimeters between them in a staggered manner. This is intended to prevent the reflections of any bends, which may occur due to temperature changes on the roof. Once the OSBs have been in place, roof edges must be elevated by means of wood cants, and the eaves framed with a proper aluminum profile. Upon the completion of this process, the single underlayer may begin to be applied. The shingle underlayer must be laid from the eaves to the ridge. Each row must be adjusted to overlap the next by 10 centimeters, and the nails driven to be covered by the overlapping sections. The material must be cut to the shape of the roof at necessary places. In order to support waterproofing in valleys, polyester felt reinforced BTM polymer bituminous waterproofing membranes with a minimum thickness of 3 millimeters must be applied parallel to the valley axis. While performing the application in this section, attention must be paid not to drive nails within 30 centimeters on the right and left sides of the valley axis. After all such preliminary preparations, shingles may start to be applied. In order to maintain the alignment of the shingles and to be able to perform a regular application, some guidelines must be established on the roof. First, 2 horizontal lines must be drawn by means of a leveling line at 18 centimeters and 14 centimeters parallel to the eaves. Then the central point of the roof must be marked and a 90-degree vertical line must be drawn from this point toward the ridge. In order to be able to find the 90-degree angle, arcs of a 2 millimeter radius must be drawn on 1 meter's left and 1 meter's right of the central point, and their intersecting point must be taken as a reference. Once the vertical line has been drawn, another line must be drawn 16.5 centimeters to the right of this line. Before laying the first course at the eaves, the strips on the bottom parts of the shingles must be cut off, and a starter course comprised of rectangular shingles must be made. The starter course must be aligned with the initial horizontal and vertical lines. Attention must be paid not to nail the strips in the starter course. Once the starter course has been completed, the first course of shingles is applied in a staggered manner, starting from the second horizontal and vertical lines marked in the next course. During the application, shingles must be aligned with one another, and the alignment of the strips must be maintained. Self-adhesive shingle models may be easily applied by removing the protective coating on the bottom. Then special shingle nails must be driven at each end and at 2 points in the middle. 4 nails must be used for each board. In case of a roof slope of more than 160 degrees, 6 nails must be used. The chimney edges must be supported by cants, and shingles must be terminated on top of the can once they reach the chimney edge. Before the back of the chimney is completed, waterproofing must be performed around the chimney. Polymer bituminous membrane covered with shingle granules in the proper color must be cut to such dimensions which will encircle the chimney and be applied to overlap the shingle boards at least 20 centimeters on all 4 sides of the chimney. Once it has been applied on all 4 sides of the chimney, it may continue to be applied in the back side of the chimney. When one reaches the roof edges, boards must be finished by bending over the cants. In the rustic and ruby shingle models, the applications on valleys, ridges, and the preceding sections are the same, and the film should be continued by the application of the rustic model as from the valley stage. When one reaches the valley, shingles must be extended over both sides and completed in the form of a woven valley by overlapping each other. No nails must be driven within 30 centimeters on both right and left sides of the central line of the valley. In order to ensure a regular look in the woven valley, one must proceed upwards on both sides of the valley. In the top ridge and sloping ridge sections, the boards must be terminated by bending at the level of the ridge. Ventilation accessories must be applied by drilling holes in the OSB where it is deemed necessary. You may refer to the shingle application catalog for the correct use of ventilation accessories. Once all the shingle boards have been laid, ridge applications may be started. Ridge shingles must be made by using the leaf model shingles. Marks must be put at approximately 3 centimeters on both sides of the upper edge of the shingles, and the shingles must be cut with an angle from the edges to the leaf projection toward these marks. The piece so formed is the ridge shingle and may be used as a template for other pieces to be cut. In order to maintain the alignment of the ridge shingles, a line is extended along the ridge, and the ridge shingles must be laid by resting them on this line. The leaves must be overlapped at intervals of 14 centimeters and fixed by nailing on both sides, and the top ridge section must be applied in the same manner. Upon the completion of the ridges, applications may be started at the roof edges and wall bottoms. Roof edges must be finished with aluminum profiles prepared in the proper sizes. And the wall edges must be finished with polymer bituminous membranes covered with shingle granules in the proper color, as at the chimney edges. After all membrane applications, the chimney edges must be covered with aluminum profiles all around and supported by a proper long-lasting mastic. Beteme shingles are a waterproof, practical, easy to apply, decorative, and maintenance-free roofing solution.